Okay, today I'm in my mom's car. Broom, broom. Get out my car. No, I'm just kidding. I'm driving home, and I'm not driving today because I had. Oh, we got music playing in the background, but today I think the topic of thoughts is. What is the topic of thoughts? Oh shit, I think it's self-love, I think, bro. Because I'm not walking home today because I went to therapy a little late today. And yeah, dog, like I guess me and my therapist talked about this whole self-love thing, and that's really important, bro. Like, people, I feel like, it's really hard to describe the whole self-love thing, because, like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, loving yourself? Like, yeah, duh, you feed yourself, like, the healthiest food you can. Because, interrupting my thought real quick, like, I think it's all subjective to who you are as a person, because self-love can be so different. And, when you ask anybody in the world, like, hey, like, what is self-love? What do you do, like, to love yourself a little bit? They'll give you like a little small, like, a screenshot, if you will, of what that means. They'll tell you, oh, well, self-love to me is this or that. They'll give you a concise answer of, like, what that means to them, or they'll give you, like, one activity that they do to, like, love themselves. But I think self-love is like a whole domain to human existence, bro. Like, how do you even know what it means to love yourself if like, you never really focused on that per se, a lot of people will take care of themselves. Like, you'll work out, you'll feed yourself the healthiest foods you can, you'll give yourself time for friends, time for family and stuff like that, but you still won't necessarily, quote unquote, love yourself, and it was interesting because I was thinking about that shit today, and I have no clue what that even means, bro. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, does it mean that I like, clean up after myself? Like what does that mean? That just means, like, oh, I have a good feeling after I do A, B, and C, like after I clean, after I feed myself. But, like, it's kind of like the damn, that's really loud. It's like the significant other. I'm pretty sure they just got a new anyways, it's like saying, hey man, do you love this person? Yes. How do you know you love this person? Well, I just know, and I think that's really hard because that feeling just gets generated over, like, time, because you spend time with that person, they make you feel some sort of way, and that is that love, that you feel for that certain person. And for me, I've always kind of, like, depended on external love to fill that cup. I feel like since high school, the longest I've gone the longest I've gone without talking to a person is probably like a girl, like, kind of like what is it called, romantically interested, if you will. I can't think of the, like, actual, like, 30 minutes and 67 seconds with 37 milliseconds, type shit. But I can't think of a gap of my life that I probably went more than 6 months without, like, talking to somebody, And it's crazy, bro. It's crazy to think about it that way, because, like, that's crazy, bro. That's such a little bit of time to hang out with your adult self and figure out what kind of things you need and you like and all that stuff, Um, and I did it when I moved out of state, like, you know, from where I lived, my high school childhood, if you will, and middle school self. I did move, and, you know, I did get to hang out with myself for like about a year or so, I would say, like total time. But it was never like uninterrupted time, you know. It was never like, oh, like, you know, uninterrupted 1 year just being like, you know, completely single without like talking to anybody or anything like that, with just having friends and hanging out with friends and all that jazz. So you just have to spend some time alone and figure out what you like. Like, if you like reading books, bro, go read some books. If you like going outside and hiking, go do the hiking. I think I like hiking a lot. That's the one thing I did notice, like, even since I was younger, before I moved out, I just like going outside on walks and enjoying nature. But I think today's is gonna be a short one because I'm like driving, but and I'm pretty busy this week. But you have to love yourself. You have to literally hang out and spend time with yourself, even if you hate it, even if it's hard, even if it hurts in the head. Today I did something like, you know, you just sit on a thought, on a feeling. It was an internal feeling that like kind of came up again from like sitting there and thinking of thoughts. So the therapist was like, oh, sit on that feeling. What does that make you feel? What thoughts? And dude, this racy thing started going through my head, and like all these like weird like things, and it was uncomfortable, bro. But you have to sit there, and that's with life. Like, you have to sit there in your physical body and then just experience what you like, what you don't like. And if there's a real true thing you don't like about yourself, then fucking fix it. If you're too fat, go fucking work out. If you don't have enough friends, go put yourself in an environment where you're gonna have friends. And don't be like, oh, you know, I like buff men with six-pack abs as my friends, or I want nerdy fatzos as my friends, or, you know, whatever the fuck type of like physical appearance that you envision in a friend. I've made the best of friends when I don't care what people look like or sound like, when I just am there for their substance, for what they have to say, for, you know. And it's crazy, but it attracts to people that you don't even know are like you, because these people look so drastically different from you. And once you find friends, you can start talking about other shit, and then practice like having multiple friends. Don't just get stuck with having one friend. At least have two friends, I would say, you know, from two different like sides of the world, if you will, so you can get different opinions from both of them and different thoughts and all that stuff. That's just my opinion, though. I think you should at least have two friends of like differing opinions. And yeah, man, just do that, and I think you'll be happy, man. It'll start to heal you a little bit, and you'll start to uncover what you want. And don't be showboaty with these friends. Don't be like, hey man, I get bitches on a regular, or like, hey man, I'm out drinking, you want to come, or like, I'm gonna go hunting, or whatever you think is cool, you know. Just fucking be a person and do whatever you want to do, and text them, hey man, you're trying to come do this. If they say nah, don't take it to heart either. But, oh well, I'm never inviting this person again because they said no. If you feel that way, be like, hey, like, why didn't you want, like, I don't want to say emotional or needy or anything, but I'm just genuinely curious, why didn't you want to come? Do you not like snowboarding? Have you never gone snowboarding? Does it make you feel uncomfortable? Do you just, you know, you didn't have time, or you just busy, like, or what's going on? I'm trying to hang, you know, like, don't get on, well, they didn't hang out with me, so like, I'm never gonna invite them again. You know, don't do that shit. Don't bubble yourself in either. Be open to meeting other people. Be open to knowing yourself, not to get frustrated with yourself. Don't get frustrated with others, and you'll reach a pretty high point in life. And that was what these fuckers said. Yeah, you'll reach a pretty high point in life by just knowing yourself and generally like being stuck with yourself. I wish I could go back in time and do that a little more, but I have children now. I can't do that.